the Vinod Gupta School of Management, IIT Kharagpur, was privileged to host Mr. Sunil Sayal, CFO, Region India at Nokia Solutions and Networks. And after a highly insightful lecture on the telecom industry in India and the global overtones, we now have a couple of questions for Sir. Sir, in the lecture, you very rightly mentioned that we are sitting on the cusp of an information revolution. So, what, according to you, is the way forward for telecommunications companies now?
See, I think what we are sitting on is at the cusp of a revolution which is far bigger than just a information revolution. It is a digital revolution. And when I say digital, I mean there are very few aspects of our life which are not being touched by the digital revolution. So whether it is our day-to-day working, whether it is to do our health, whether it is to do our education, whether it is to do with our professional life, the way we commute, everything is getting affected by the digital revolution. And as I mentioned to you, telecom companies have to be prepared to be able to provide the right size of the pipe, the right access in these possible time. That means the latency has to be now, instead of a millisecond, it has to move to a microsecond for all these applications to operate and work in the way and manner they are supposed to work. So telecom companies have to gear up to be able to live up to the expectation of the digital requirement. And if these companies do not gear up, then somebody else will fill up that space. And currently we are already seeing that the Googles and the Facebooks of the world are actually making a lot of attempts to be able to fill up this space, which they find as very lucrative. The project Loom of Google, where they are wanting to send all those balloons into the stratosphere, which will fly twice the height of an aeroplane, is actually a case in the point.
Sir, the second question is, we have seen an extensive CSP consolidation in the last few years. So what, in your opinion, has made this widespread consolidation conceivable, and how effective do you think is consolidation as a strategy?
Okay, let me put it this way. I mean, consolidation is something which has not come as a surprise. It was something which had to happen because this particular industry is a capex industry, in the sense that it requires a huge amount of capex. And as technologies move from 1G to 2G to 3G and so on, the amount of capex which is required keeps on increasing. To be able to sustain that kind of a capex, revenues have to keep pace. And for the revenues to keep pace, there have to be a certain minimum number of subscribers with a certain minimum number of average revenue per subscriber, which each operator should be able to generate to be able to sustain the capex investment. If there is a mismatch between the two, the consolidation will have to take place. And this is something which we have actually seen happening. So over the past few years, from a situation where we had 9 or 10 operators, depending on whom you want to really call operator, we are now moving to a situation where we currently have 5. In another 3 months, it will be reduced to 4 with the merger of Vodafone and Idea. And if this is the way the BSNLs and the MTNLs, which are government-owned telecom companies, operate, then we may find that at some point of time this may even get to reduced to 3, which I think is not a great sign from an Indian consumer perspective. So from an Indian consumer perspective, I would say more the number of companies, the better it is for them. But from the point of view of sustainability and from the point of view of getting newer technologies faster into the system, the lesser number of operators are actually good from that perspective. So a balancing act will have to be done.